Here's the truth most people won't tell you. No matter how hard you work, how smart you are, or how clear your vision is, some people will never understand you. They'll doubt you, criticize you, and even try to hold you back. And that's not because you're wrong. It's because they're not ready for your level. But here's the thing. The moment you stop needing their approval, that's the moment you become unstoppable. Today, I'm going to show you why misunderstanding isn't a roadblock. It's a sign you're on the right path, and how to use it to your absolute advantage. People will never fully understand you because their perspective is limited by their own experiences and fears. They evaluate your decisions through a lens built by their insecurities and outdated beliefs. Expecting everyone to get why you do what you do is a trap that keeps you stuck in other people's judgments. The truth is, clarity and purpose are internal. They are yours, not theirs. When you aim higher than most, discomfort is inevitable, but the discomfort signals growth, not failure. Every step you take toward your vision will feel foreign to those who have never dared to dream like you. Stop seeking validation from people who operate in a smaller world. Their opinions are cheap compared to your ambition. Focus on the work that only you can do, the vision only you can see. Your life is not a debate to be won, it's a journey to be lived. The challenge is that most people live inside the box of their own understanding. They are conditioned to think that success, ambition, or risk should look a certain way. When your actions don't fit their narrative, confusion turns into judgment. It's human nature for them to resist what they don't understand because it challenges their reality. You can try to explain yourself endlessly, but clarity cannot be forced on someone unwilling to see. Their inability to understand you isn't personal. It's structural, built over years of conditioning. When you stop trying to translate your life for everyone, you free yourself to focus on growth. Every misunderstood choice is proof you're operating beyond the ordinary. Their skepticism is noise, not a verdict. Learn to treat misunderstanding as a signpost, not a stop sign. People who don't understand you often project their own limitations onto you. They see your ambition and feel threatened, as if your potential diminishes their own. Their doubt becomes a reflection of their fear, not a reflection of your capabilities. This is why defending your journey is often a waste of energy. Explaining your choices won't convince someone whose mindset is fixed. Instead, action speaks louder than words, and results are the universal language. When you execute at a level they can't comprehend, their misunderstanding turns into awe. But that is a byproduct, not a goal. Your energy is finite, and spending it on convincing the wrong people is an inefficient drain. Focus on building momentum in areas where your vision is respected and amplified. Let results tell the story your words never could. The people around you might demand explanations for why you sacrifice, why you push, why you refuse to settle. They don't see the late nights, the rejections, or the invisible work behind the scenes. They only see the visible part of your life and judge it according to their comfort level. Trying to meet their expectations is like trying to fit a mountain into a cup. It's impossible and exhausting. Growth is inherently uncomfortable because it expands your life in ways others cannot yet comprehend. When you prioritize understanding over progress, you give away your power. Instead, embrace the solitude of ambition. The people who truly matter, those who will support and inspire, will eventually understand naturally. Until then, focus relentlessly on your trajectory. Misunderstanding is simply the cost of being ahead of the curve. Your clarity and confidence become your armor against misunderstanding. The more you align with your purpose, the less the opinions of others matter. When you know why you are doing what you do, external validation becomes irrelevant. People who live in mediocrity often feel compelled to question those who aim for excellence. Their judgment is an echo of their own frustration, not a reflection of your worth. Recognizing this distinction is liberating because it allows you to move forward without hesitation. The key is to accept that misunderstanding is inevitable and not personal. You cannot control perception, only execution. Every time you choose progress over explanation, you reinforce the life you are building. The moment you internalize that other people's understanding is optional, you unlock freedom. You are no longer trapped by the need for approval, explanation, or justification. This freedom enables you to make bold decisions without hesitation. It allows you to innovate, take risks, and redefine what success looks like for yourself. People who don't understand you might criticize, but their criticism is impotent against someone who is clear and purposeful. Misalignment between your vision and their understanding is normal. It is the natural outcome of growth. Accepting this reality keeps you moving forward instead of being stuck in conversations that lead nowhere. Your focus should remain on execution, not explanation, because execution is the only thing that ultimately matters. Often, people confuse misunderstanding with rejection, but they are not the same. Misunderstanding simply means your perspective doesn't fit into their limited framework. Rejection, on the other hand, happens when someone actively resists your growth or purpose. Knowing this difference protects your mindset from unnecessary doubt. Not everyone will cheer for your vision, and that's fine. The key is to find those who will support, challenge, and elevate you. Your responsibility is to stay aligned with your own path, not to create alignment with everyone else. When you stop trying to make the world understand, you reclaim your focus, energy, and momentum. Misunderstanding becomes a tool, not a burden. The irony is that people who struggle to understand you often admire the traits they don't possess. Your discipline, ambition, or vision intimidates them because it forces them to reflect on their own limitations. They may mock, question, or resist you, but these reactions reveal more about them than about you. Understanding cannot be forced, it must be earned, but your job is not to make people earn it. Your job is to pursue excellence relentlessly. In doing so, you naturally separate spectators from collaborators, critics from supporters. Misunderstanding is the filter that ensures only the right energy stays in your life. This filtration is essential for growth and focus. Every misunderstood action is actually a sign you are progressing faster than most. When you focus on understanding from others, you dilute your energy and compromise your purpose. Trying to make people see your journey from their perspective weakens your clarity. Growth requires a singular focus on your own standards, not theirs. If you measure your worth by someone else's comprehension, you'll never achieve the level of impact you're capable of. The people who truly matter will resonate with your vision without needing lengthy explanations. Their understanding comes from alignment, not obligation. Let go of trying to fit into a framework that was never designed for you. Instead, double down on your goals, your craft, and your mission. Misunderstanding is merely the natural resistance encountered on the path to extraordinary results. Ultimately, misunderstanding is unavoidable, but it is not your enemy. It is a byproduct of ambition, clarity, and growth that surpasses the average perception. The people who don't get it are not failures. They are simply not aligned with your journey. Your energy is too valuable to waste on convincing them. Focus on execution, mastery, and the impact you are capable of creating. Misunderstanding separates spectators from believers, distractions from collaborators, and noise from signal. Every step you take without seeking approval strengthens your independence. Every achievement you create without explaining it validates your clarity. Misunderstanding is not a limitation. It is proof that you are moving beyond the ordinary. Most people operate from fear rather than curiosity, and that fear shapes how they perceive your actions. When they see someone striving for more, they instinctively resist because it challenges their own comfort zones. Their skepticism is not about you. It is about their inability to envision what they haven't dared to pursue. Criticism often comes from a place of insecurity, and their words are reflections of their own limitations. You cannot expect someone who fears growth to understand ambition. Their mindset is fixed, and trying to change it will only drain your energy. Instead, recognize that misunderstanding is a natural consequence of being ahead. The faster you internalize this, the more freedom you gain to focus on progress. Fear-driven opinions will always exist, but they don't define your potential. Your job is execution, not explanation. People tend to judge what they cannot control or comprehend. When your ambition is bold, it makes others question their choices, and their responses often doubt or criticism. This reaction is predictable because most people live safely inside routines that never challenge them. You cannot rely on validation from someone whose world is smaller than your vision. Trying to explain your purpose to them is like teaching colors to someone who has never seen light. Misunderstanding is inevitable when your life moves faster than their imagination. The key is to separate constructive feedback from projections of fear. Constructive criticism guides growth. Fear-driven judgment only seeks to limit it. Learn to read the difference and invest your energy accordingly. Your results will eventually speak louder than their words. Fear is contagious, and when others operate from it, they try to infect you with doubt. They will question your decisions, mock your goals, or warn you of failure, all while assuming they know what's best. Their caution comes from self-preservation, not insight. If you internalize their fear, your momentum stalls. The most successful people in the world do not wait for permission or understanding from the timid. They move despite skepticism because clarity comes from within, not from external validation. Every great breakthrough started as an idea misunderstood by the majority. Fear-driven opinions are the noise that separates spectators from creators. Your job is to maintain focus on execution, regardless of external reactions. Action, not discussion, is the language of progress. Many people project their fear onto your ambition to justify their own inaction. When someone doubts you, it often has nothing to do with you. They are scared of what they cannot achieve. Their questions and criticism are mirrors reflecting their limitations, and if you try to educate them, you waste valuable time. Understanding cannot be forced on someone whose perspective is locked by fear. You have to accept that their resistance is inevitable and unchangeable. Your energy should be spent building, not convincing. Every step forward you take, no matter how misunderstood, is a declaration that fear will not dictate your life. The world eventually adjusts to your results, not your explanations. Fear-driven misunderstanding is simply the cost of doing extraordinary work. Recognizing this allows you to remain focused without guilt. The problem is that most people confuse caution with wisdom. Just because someone hesitates does not mean they are right, and their fear is not a valid measurement of your potential. They often advise stagnation because it is safe, familiar, and within their control. Their skepticism is a reflection of their comfort, not your limits. You must separate their fear from reality and act decisively in spite of it. Leaders and innovators operate outside the boundaries of fear because they know the cost of hesitation is far greater than temporary discomfort. Every misunderstood step forward reinforces the fact that your vision is larger than their imagination. You are not here to make people feel comfortable. You are here to create results. Fear-driven misunderstanding is the indicator that you are pushing boundaries. When you let fear-driven opinions influence your choices, you trade growth for comfort. Comfort is the enemy of ambition, and most people cannot recognize its subtle tyranny. They will suggest safer paths, smaller goals, and slower timelines to minimize risk, all while labeling it as wisdom. If you listen, you shrink. If you ignore, you expand. Fear-driven misunderstanding is not a judgment of your potential. It is a signpost that your trajectory is higher than their comfort allows. Every visionary, every successful entrepreneur, every leader has faced this. The difference is they moved forward anyway, using misunderstanding as fuel rather than an obstacle. Your focus must remain on execution, results, and alignment with your own clarity. Fear-driven opinions are distractions, not determinants. People who operate from fear often attempt to rationalize your ambition to fit their world. They ask endless questions, challenge every decision, and assume danger lurks at every turn. Their doubt is loud because it masks their own insecurities. If you try to explain yourself, you give their fear power over your trajectory. Understanding is a privilege, not a guarantee. The stronger you become in your purpose, the less influence fear-driven opinions will have. Momentum is created by consistent action, not by waiting for approval. Misunderstanding, when filtered through fear, is predictable and harmless if you don't internalize it. Focus your energy on growth, clarity, and execution. The world eventually rewards persistence, not consensus. Fear-driven misunderstanding also serves as an unintentional filter. The people who doubt, judge, or criticize are often those who will never contribute positively to your journey. By not understanding you, they separate themselves from your trajectory naturally. This filtering is crucial because it protects your time, focus, and energy from being wasted on opinions that cannot help you grow. Surround yourself with those who elevate your vision, challenge your limits constructively, and inspire action. Misunderstanding, in this sense, is beneficial. It weeds out distraction and negativity. Your ambition requires selective alignment, not universal comprehension. Fear-driven skepticism is noise that strengthens your resolve when ignored. Execution becomes easier when you accept this dynamic. The ultimate truth is that fear-driven misunderstanding is inevitable and constant. You will always encounter people who cannot comprehend your goals, methods, or pace. Their inability to understand is not a reflection of your worth or capability. It is simply their limitation, and trying to overcome it is a misuse of your energy. Accepting this frees you to focus entirely on building, learning, and executing. The more you align with your vision, the less you are affected by outside opinion. Results are the only reliable metric of clarity and purpose. Fear-driven misunderstanding is an unavoidable side effect of ambition, but it can also be leveraged as motivation. Every obstacle, every question, and every doubter reinforces the need to keep moving. Momentum and consistency silence misunderstanding more effectively than words. Your relationship with fear-driven opinions defines your trajectory. You can let them dictate your choices, slow you down, and create doubt, or you can use them as a mirror to strengthen your conviction. Misunderstanding rooted in fear is never personal. It is a reflection of how far ahead your mindset is. Every step you take despite skepticism builds resilience, authority, and clarity. Momentum compounds when you focus on action rather than explanation. Fear-driven doubt cannot touch results, and results are what ultimately create influence, legacy, and opportunity. The path to extraordinary growth is never universally understood, and that is why most people never achieve it. Misunderstanding is unavoidable, but alignment, action, and consistency make it irrelevant. Some people will never understand you because understanding is not a right. It is a privilege earned through experience, perspective, and effort. You cannot demand comprehension from someone who has not walked your path or endured your challenges. Your vision, standards, and sacrifices may feel radical or uncomfortable to them because they haven't faced what you have faced. Expecting everyone to grasp your journey is a trap that limits your growth. You will encounter criticism, doubt, and judgment, not because you are wrong, but because your life does not fit into their box. The truth is, most people operate on their own comfort level, and your ambition threatens it. You cannot educate everyone. Some are not ready to see beyond their limitations. The key is to prioritize your alignment over universal approval. Misunderstanding is inevitable when your life operates ahead of the curve. Many people mistake your ambition for arrogance or your standards for perfectionism because they cannot see the discipline behind your actions. They only see results or behavior without context, and they fill the gaps with assumptions. When someone judges you, it often reveals more about them than it does about you. They project their insecurities, laziness, or fear onto your choices. The deeper your focus, the more incomprehensible your life becomes to the average observer. This is why seeking understanding from everyone is futile. It dilutes energy and distracts from action. Your role is not to satisfy curiosity, but to execute relentlessly. Every misunderstood choice is proof that you are operating at a level beyond ordinary comprehension. Their inability to understand is a filter, separating spectators from collaborators, critics from supporters. Your journey will often feel lonely because the few who truly understand are rare. Most people have never experienced the level of commitment, sacrifice, or vision required to operate at your level. They may ask questions that feel invasive or judgmental, but they cannot grasp the unseen effort that shapes your reality. Solitude is not a weakness, it is the breeding ground of focus, discipline, and growth. Leaders, innovators, and creators are rarely understood in their early stages, and that is by design. The people who eventually resonate with your mission will recognize your work without needing exhaustive explanations. Until that moment, misunderstanding is normal and necessary. It protects your energy from those who are not aligned and prepares you for the impact you are destined to make. Loneliness and misunderstanding are not obstacles. They are markers of advancement. Expect resistance when your standards and decisions challenge the status quo. People who cling to familiarity and mediocrity will resist your progress because it forces them to confront their own limitations. Your clarity and confidence in your path will often be mistaken for arrogance or stubbornness. The truth is that standing firm in your purpose is uncomfortable for those who cannot understand the stakes. Misunderstanding arises because they cannot see beyond the surface. You do not owe anyone an explanation for pursuing a higher standard of life. Energy is finite, and convincing skeptics who will never comprehend is wasted effort. Every boundary you set, every sacrifice you make, every bold choice you take will feel radical to some, and that is expected. Misunderstanding is proof that you are stretching beyond conventional boundaries. The irony is that people who cannot understand you often admire traits they do not possess. Your discipline, vision, and courage are intimidating because they force them to reflect on their own limitations. When they criticize, doubt, or question you, it is often because they wish they could operate at your level but lack the ability. Understanding is earned and it cannot be rushed. You cannot force someone to grow alongside you, nor can you make them see what they are not ready to see. This reality is liberating because it frees you from the expectation of universal validation. The fewer people who understand, the clearer your focus becomes. Misunderstanding filters out unnecessary noise and preserves energy for the right opportunities and relationships. It is both a challenge and a protection mechanism. Some people will try to make your life fit their narrative, pressuring you to explain or justify your choices. They cannot comprehend why you push harder, dream bigger, or refuse to settle. Their discomfort comes from their own fear of change, and their questions are often disguised as concern. If you answer every question, you compromise your momentum and your energy. The goal is not to bring everyone along, it is to move relentlessly forward. Execution speaks louder than words, and results are the universal translator. Misunderstanding is temporary and often superficial. It does not reflect your worth or your vision. The people who truly align with your energy will understand naturally. Their understanding will come from resonance, not obligation. Focus on producing work that validates your clarity. Your life will often feel misunderstood because it operates outside the comfort of common perception. People rely on patterns and templates to judge behavior, and when your actions deviate from their expectations, confusion and criticism arise. They may label you as difficult, radical, or reckless because they do not have the experience to contextualize your choices. Misunderstanding is a natural consequence of operating at a higher frequency than the average. You cannot control perception, only your execution and your standards. Every choice you make without seeking approval strengthens your independence. Clarity comes from alignment, not universal comprehension. Misunderstanding is the unavoidable cost of progress, and learning to navigate it is part of mastery. Acceptance of this dynamic amplifies focus and performance. Some people will never understand the sacrifices required to pursue your vision. They see outcomes but never witness the invisible work behind the scenes, the late nights, relentless learning, and repeated failures. They assume everything should be easy because they have never endured the process. When they question your choices, it is not because they are wiser. It is because they are unexposed to your reality. Misunderstanding is the default state for those who have not lived your life. Accepting this allows you to prioritize energy on the people and tasks that matter. Your purpose is bigger than their comprehension. Alignment, action, and focus are stronger than explanation or justification. Misunderstanding is a natural filter that ensures only the right relationships and opportunities stay in your orbit. It strengthens resilience and refines clarity. The truth is that understanding is earned, not given. Some people will never make the effort because they are unwilling or incapable. They cannot walk in your shoes, and no amount of explanation will bridge that gap. Their inability to understand is not a deficiency in you. It is a reflection of their perspective and experience. You are not obligated to make your life palatable for them. Every misunderstood choice is a marker of independence, clarity, and growth. When you accept that comprehension is optional, you reclaim energy for progress. Your focus should be on mastery, results, and alignment. Misunderstanding becomes a protective and clarifying force rather than a limitation. It separates the spectators from the believers naturally and efficiently. Your standards, your vision, and your purpose will always feel radical to some. That is because your life is not meant to fit into someone else's narrative. Misunderstanding is an unavoidable companion to ambition, and the sooner you accept it, the faster you can move. Clarity comes from persistence and action, not explanation or persuasion. You cannot control perception, only your trajectory. Misunderstanding is a byproduct of alignment with a higher purpose, and it serves to sharpen your focus. Every step forward reinforces your independence and confirms your direction. Energy invested in understanding from the wrong people is wasted. Focus on the people and opportunities who resonate with your vision. Misunderstanding is proof that you are operating beyond the ordinary. Stop seeking approval from the wrong crowd because some people will never understand your drive, your ambition, or your mindset. Their opinions are often rooted in fear, envy, or complacency, not in insight or wisdom. Misunderstanding is inevitable when you operate at a level most people cannot comprehend. Trying to explain yourself to them only drains energy and slows your progress. Instead, focus on those who resonate with your purpose, who challenge you, and who inspire you to go further. The right people will understand without you having to justify your choices. Protect your energy like it is your most valuable asset because it is. Alignment with the right minds accelerates growth and clarity. Misunderstanding becomes a filter separating spectators from collaborators. When you accept this, your path forward becomes unstoppable. Your energy is contagious, and the people around you shape your momentum. Those who constantly question or misunderstand you often bring negativity disguised as advice. Their lack of understanding is not your problem. It is a reflection of their limitations. You cannot force someone to perceive what they are not ready to see. Instead, double down on execution, consistency, and focus. The right people will naturally gravitate to your clarity, not because you explained yourself, but because your results speak volumes. Misalignment is not rejection. It is a signal. It warns you where not to invest your time, attention, and energy. Misunderstanding filters out distractions so that only those who matter remain. Surround yourself with those who amplify your vision rather than question it. Some people will never understand your sacrifices, the late nights, the missed comforts, or the relentless pursuit of excellence. They see results and assume it was easy, effortless, or lucky. Misunderstanding arises from ignorance, not malice, and it should not derail your focus. Your responsibility is not to convince the unready. It is to execute at a level only you can sustain. The people who belong in your life will witness your journey and comprehend its value without explanation. Protect your focus fiercely because distraction kills momentum. Misunderstanding is an inevitable side effect of moving faster than the average person. Energy spent convincing skeptics is energy stolen from creation. Instead, channel your effort into building, learning, and producing results. Let accomplishment become the ultimate explanation for your path. Clarity in your purpose naturally repels those who are not aligned. Misunderstanding acts as a natural filter, separating noise from signal. People who cannot grasp your vision are unlikely to contribute positively to your journey. Their doubts, criticisms, or confusion do not diminish your worth. They simply reveal the misalignment. By recognizing this, you protect your mental space and preserve energy for opportunities and relationships that matter. Alignment accelerates progress because you are no longer distracted by unnecessary approval seeking. Every misunderstood choice becomes proof of growth, proof that you are operating beyond ordinary comprehension. Surround yourself with collaborators, not critics. Misunderstanding becomes a tool, not a burden, and it empowers you to execute fearlessly. Fear-driven criticism often comes from envy disguised as concern. Those who cannot understand you may feel threatened by your ambition because it reminds them of their own unfulfilled potential. Their discomfort is a reflection of their limitations, not yours. Misunderstanding is inevitable when you set higher standards, refuse to settle, and prioritize growth over comfort. You cannot explain every choice to everyone, nor should you attempt to. The people who matter, those aligned with your energy, will understand naturally. Focus on execution and let your work speak for itself. Misunderstanding is not a stop sign, it is a filter highlighting who belongs in your circle. Protect your focus, your energy, and your vision relentlessly. Success is built by action, not explanation. Your environment determines the trajectory of your growth. People who fail to understand you may unintentionally hold you back if you let them in your inner circle. Misunderstanding signals misalignment, which is the first warning to reassess where your energy goes. The right people, those who resonate with your ambition, amplify your momentum and clarify your purpose. Stop trying to explain your path to those who are not ready or willing to comprehend it. Misunderstanding is a natural defense mechanism that ensures only relevant influence reaches you. Clarity in your mission keeps you on track, aligned, and productive. Surround yourself with those who celebrate, challenge, and elevate you. Misunderstanding becomes a filter, separating spectators from collaborators, critics from allies. By protecting your focus, you accelerate your journey toward impact. Some people will misjudge your confidence as arrogance, your discipline as obsession, or your standards as impossibly high. Misunderstanding arises when someone cannot perceive the process behind your progress. They rarely see the hours, the failures, the learning, and the sacrifices that build results. Their opinions are reflections of their perspective, not a measure of your capability. Accepting that not everyone will understand liberates you from the need for external validation. Focus on what matters, your execution, your growth, and your alignment. Misunderstanding filters out distraction and preserves energy for meaningful pursuits. Those who belong will recognize your journey without you explaining it. Their understanding comes from resonance, not obligation. You are free to pursue greatness on your terms. The beauty of misunderstanding is that it protects your vision. It prevents unnecessary interference from those who are not aligned with your purpose. Misunderstanding clarifies boundaries by separating energy, draining skeptics from collaborators and supporters. Accept it as a natural consequence of being ambitious, disciplined, and clear in your direction. The people who are meant to be part of your journey will understand without requiring detailed explanations. Misalignment signals where not to invest your energy, time, or focus. Execution becomes sharper when your attention is reserved for what truly matters. Misunderstanding is not a limitation. It is a tool for protecting clarity, focus, and progress. Every misunderstood moment is an opportunity to strengthen resolve and remain steadfast. Endurance in the face of misunderstanding is what sets the extraordinary apart. People who cannot understand your ambition may question, criticize, or withdraw, but this does not impede your trajectory. Misunderstanding acts as a filter, allowing only those who are aligned with your energy and vision to remain. Protecting your focus and maintaining clarity ensures that momentum is not lost to opinions or skepticism. Your results, not explanations, become the proof of your journey. Misunderstanding is a natural companion to ambition, but it can be leveraged to refine clarity and preserve energy. By focusing on alignment, action, and purpose, you maximize impact and minimize distractions. The people who resonate will understand effortlessly, and their support will amplify your progress. Embrace misunderstanding as a tool for filtering influence and protecting your mission. The more misunderstood you are, the clearer your path becomes.